Hello guys, today we're going to review unit number 8, Someone Who, from your book. Today we're talking about jobs and occupations, and we're going to be learning which questions we can ask to learn more about the occupations of other people. For example, the first one that we have is, what do you do? Here, what we want to know is the job or the occupation of the person. So when we ask directly to someone, we're going to go with, what do you do? Alternatively, we can change it to, what does he or she do, if we want to know about the occupation of a man or a woman that it's not being directly part of the conversation. Also, we can ask, what do they do, if we're talking about a group of people outside of the conversation. The second question that we have is, where do you work? Here, I'm no longer asking about the occupation, but I'm asking about the place. It can be a bank, a gym, or a school. Now, the question, if it's asked directly, is, where do you work? And the answer, I work at the gym, or I work at the bank, right? But we can change the question like we did previously when we're talking about a third person, whether it is a man, where does he work? Or a woman, where does she work? And if we're asking about a group of people, we change it to, where do they work? Remember that we're going to be changing do or does depending on the person that we're talking about. The last question that we're going to use today is, how do you like your job? Here, we're no longer asking about the job or the occupation. We're no longer asking about the place, but we're asking about your personal feelings towards your job. So the first question goes, how do you like it? It is referring to the job. How do you like your job? We can also change it to the question about a third person, a man, how does he like it? Or a woman, how does she like it? And lastly, how do they like it if we're asking about a group of people? To practice, we're going to go to page number 52 on our books. Here we have 4 incomplete conversations, and we're going to be completing them with the questions that we saw previously. The first one that we have asks, what does your sister do? They already help us with the example. My sister, she's a nurse. Then we want to know more information, but since I don't know the question, I'm going to take a look at the answer. And the answer gives us personal opinion or personal feelings about the job. So we ask, how does she like it? And the answer, it's difficult, but she loves it. Then in conversation number 2, we're missing the question, but to know the question, we have to take a look at the answer. And the answer, it's a place. So we answer with, where does your brother work? And the answer says, in a hotel. He's a front desk clerk. Oh, and we're missing information, so we take a look at the answer, and here they're giving us again personal opinion. So, how does he like it? And the answer, he doesn't really like it. For conversation number 3, again, we're missing the question, and we gotta take a look at the answer. I guess they like them. Again, personal opinion, so how do your parents like their jobs? The next question, we're missing the question, we take a look at the answer, and it's a place. So, I don't remember, where do they work? And the answer, in an office in the city. Lastly, this question asks about your profession or your occupation, and the answer is, I'm a student. So, what do you do? The answer, I'm a student, and the answer back, I see, and blank. So we take a look at the answer, and it's a personal opinion. So, how do you like your classes? The answer is, they're great. I like them a lot. Remember that this is page number 52, so you can go there and practice further. The last question that we're going to tackle when we're talking about jobs is, what is your job like? Here, what we're asking the person is to give a description of their job. So we can say positive descriptions like it is fun, it is interesting, it is easy, it is relaxing, it is amazing. Or we can give a negative description like it is boring, it is stressful, it is awful, it is difficult, or it is dangerous, depending on the job that we're talking about. So there's two ways in which we can do this description. The first one is by using the verb to be and then the adjective, which is the list that we have in the previous slide. Those are adjectives. So, for example, a doctor's job, verb to be, is stressful. Or a window washer's job is dangerous. So verb to be and adjective. Lastly, we have a florist's job is relaxing. So verb to be and the adjective. And another way to do it is to complement the adjective with the noun. No longer using the verb to be, but the verb has. For example, a doctor has a stressful job. A window washer has a dangerous, the adjective, job, the noun. And lastly, a florist has a relaxing, adjective, job, the noun. To practice, we're going to go to page number 52 at the very end of the page. And what we're going to do is transform the sentence to the opposite way. Remember that both ways are correct. We can either use the first way or the second way, and both are fine. So, in the example they give us, a doctor's job is interesting. Alternatively, a doctor has an interesting job. In sentence number 2, it says, a police officer's job is dangerous. So what we're going to do is reverse it. So, a police officer has a dangerous job. In number 3, we have a teacher's job is stressful. We're going to change it and say a teacher has a stressful job. In example number 4, it says a plumber has a boring job. Here, they're giving us the has, so we're going to change it into the verb to be and then the adjective. So, a plumber's job, and then is boring. And then we have an electrician has a difficult job. We're going to do something similar to number 4. So, an electrician's job is difficult. And lastly, we have a vendor has an easy job. Again, we're going to change it into the verb to be plus the adjective. So, a vendor's job is easy. And that would be all about unit number 8. Thank you so much for watching.